Hey, welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the uploads. In today's video, I want to talk about sage. What is it? I've mentioned it in many other videos. You can check that out for yourself, but I wanted to go specifically into what it is. Well, sage is something that I've been utilizing for years now. I didn't utilize it on a monthly basis like I do now. But more than ever, I think a lot of people are spending time at home and doing practices they probably didn't do before, especially when it comes to your own wellness. Well, sage has a long history. Native Americans, indigenous people have been using it for centuries, but also dating all the way back to Egyptians and Romans were utilizing sage for digestive issues, for sore throats. So sage has been around for a long time, and more different groups are utilizing sage. So what do you do with sage? Do you just keep it around your house? No. Commonly, what people utilize sage, they burn it. And it's a practice called smudging. And a lot of times, I'll let you know what I do. Everyone has a different practice. Some people use feathers to sort of like wave the smoke and things like that. I burn sage, as I said before, at least once a month, usually around a full moon. I use it to purify my home. I don't believe in negative or positive energy. However, I set my intentions. You know, as I'm burning the sage, I'm moving the sage smoke up and down throughout my entire home. I go from the basement up to the attic. And I also utilize this for purifying my crystals. I've mentioned that before in past crystals videos. So when I went to the Crystals Festival here in the tri-state area of New York, they were selling white sage, and there are a couple of different sage types, and this is white sage, and you can find this on Amazon. You can find this in a bunch of different places. Easiest place probably would be Amazon, and this is where I got mine. So sage, as I said before, is a practice that more and more people are utilizing it. People utilize it to purify their homes, to remove quote unquote negative energy. But as I said to you before, I utilize it for purifying my crystals, purifying not just my home, but myself. So a lot of times when I'm burning sage on a monthly basis, I will move it around my own self, purifying myself. So one of the things that Native Americans and other indigenous people have burned sage for centuries, as I said before, as a spiritual ritual to cleanse a person or space and to promote healing and wisdom. As I said before, we're spending so much time in our homes. So I believe your home, you should make it feel like one. And that goes from not just, the decor, but also purifying and making sure whoever comes into that space has the same energy as you do and has the same intentions as you do. So a lot of times if I've had workers, working in my home, that's as I said before, I do it on a monthly basis, but if you've had a lot of people coming through your home working and doing work, everyone's bringing energy. So I use it after that sort of like to cleanse my space. There've been a lot of people walking through here with all kinds of energy. So let me clear my space. But I just wanted to kind of give you some information. There's not a lot of scientific research in regards to sage. I'll say that now. But I think more and more people in this day and age are talking more and more about these spiritual practices that date back hundreds and hundreds of years. We're coming all the way back to these practices. And I love the fact that we are, because there are some healing benefits to it. How do you burn sage? So as I said before, the information that I got here is actually from WebMD. And I'll post a link in the description so you can take a look to see the full article. But they talk about how to burn sage. And as I said to you before, you burn this, it starts a smoke. It doesn't continue to, set on fire. The fire will dissipate and then you'll just have smoke. What I normally do is I crack all the windows. I turn off any fans, any air purifiers and things like that, because I do want the smoke to sort of settle in the home. But I do crack the windows. If you have asthma or allergies, this may not be the thing for you. You should always check with your doctor first. But if you do, open up the windows. That will help dissipate the smell and the smoke. I don't love the smell of sage, but I do love the way that it makes me feel. I do love what I feel like it's doing for my home. And that's why I think a lot of people burn sage, is because they feel like it's something good that they're doing for their home. It's sort of like its own natural insurance that you're adding to your home. So what research is there on sage? Let's talk a little bit about it. Sage contains flavonoids. You probably have heard that before. Plant compounds that have medicinal properties. Some of these compounds appear to improve brain health and guard against diseases like Alzheimer's. In one study of mice, sage extract improved memory. In other animal studies, sage helped against depression and anxiety. It also helped with digestive troubles, soothing upset stomachs. It's calming to the gut and calming to the mind, probably in the way lavender is calming. And I'm sure you've heard all about lavender. A lot of people use lavender oils to help them sleep or calm them. Also, it's unclear whether sage works on humans the same way that it does on animals. Although researchers haven't studied sage burning specifically, burning incense has been linked to lung problems and allergies. As long as you burn sage for only short periods of time, it's unlikely to cause problems. But if you have asthma or other lung problems, check with your doctor before using, as I said before. Keep that in mind. And one of the things that I found, and it doesn't happen every time, it just depends on your sage stick. Sometimes when you burn it, it releases a lot of smoke and your area becomes really smoky. Depending on how sensitive your fire alarm may be, it might set it off. What I usually do with sage, I'm moving throughout the home, moving the smoke out away from me, and sometimes I'm waving it up and down throughout the home. And you'll see people do that. I've seen people use a feather to sort of like wave out the smoke. People crack windows and wave out the smoke outside their windows. I've gone outside my house and walked around my house burning the sage. I'm sure my neighbors think I'm crazy, but I do it. And some probably don't think I'm crazy, especially if you come from different cultures. A lot of cultures, as I said before, Native Americans and indigenous people have been utilizing, but a lot of different cultures utilize sage to purify homes, to purify bodies from sickness. Especially right now, people are looking for all natural ways to protect themselves, to heal themselves. And sage is one of the ways that I do that for myself and for my home. And I wanted to talk about it here on the channel. Let me know if you utilize sage, if you believe in the power of sage, and if there's something else that you burn, because I know there's a variety of other things that people burn to purify and heal their homes and themselves. Let's talk about it in the comments. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the uploads. I'll see you tomorrow.